Everyone builds dream houses. But when you dream, you close your eyes. That's why you need a guide. To see if it's too close to the train. To line up a good school. And remind you of the cost of a pool. With a RE/MAX agent, you will see how much better than a dream home the right home can be. RE/MAX. Dream with your eyes open.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the south end of the penalty box. Stepping out onto the ice, Golden Horseshoe League convener Paul Quaranti will be presenting 3 awards this evening for Players of the Month for October. First of all, Player of the Month forward for October from Caledonia, number 7, Jordan Peacock. Jordan has played 10 games, scored 8 goals, assisted on 10 for a total of 18 points. Burlington's very proud of their Jordan Peacock. Defenseman for the month of October, from Caledonia, number 27, the pride of Welland Sound, Jamie Forsland. Jamie's also played 10 games as a defenseman, scored 2 goals, had 2 assists, most importantly, a plus-minus of +8. Congratulations, Jamie Forsland. For the goaltending, Player of the Month for October, loaned to us by Toronto, number 72, Brendan Polasak. Brendan played 6 games, won all of them, 2 of them in shootouts. A goals against average of 1.15 and a saves percentage of 93%. Congratulations, Brendan. Players of the Month Patrick for the Corvairs. Officials for tonight's game, referees Jeff Lawson and Wes Kindry, linesmen Chris Cicero and Jamie Williamson.
So congratulations off the top of the broadcast to the October Players of the Month, the Corvairs sweeping the awards as we get set for the opening draw. Purdy wins the draw with a hard backhand win back to the near corner. It's intercepted by Chris Melna of Welland, and Bramwell goes to get it in the near corner now for Caledonia. Stranges takes it away from him, and his shot along the ice. Entma making the save on the far corner. The puck now back in the neutral zone. Purdy slides it down the far side. Raskovich tries to play it out. It's chopped back in behind the Welland net by Mitch Purdy. Forsland lets it go, back for Peacock, the Player of the Month and the Defenseman of the Month for the month of October. Abraham mishandles, and Melna sends it back in deep, and the junior Canadians make a full change 55 seconds into the first period. An interception, Storts going in alone inside the right circle. Braden Storts, the defensive giveaway, had a player off on his right-hand side, elected to take the shot as Tanev goes back the other way, and his shot over the glass in behind the Welland net and out of play. The Corvairs 10-1 victors over the Pelham Panthers last night. Jake Brown with 2 goals and 2 assists as Trublin wins the draw. His wraparound attempt. Josh Allen gets a bit of him, and He's able to play it up to Fitzgerald down the left wing now. And the pass back in behind the net, Cuglietta for Fitzgerald. And it's broken up by Tanev and brought back the other way. Alex Barron to the neutral zone for Storts. Storts with the earlier shot inside the right circle. And it's played up and out by Todd Ratchford back to the red line before it's dumped back in on a backhand by Mitch Reed. Just the one whistle, 2 minutes into the first period of play. No score between the first place Corvairs and the second place Welland Jr. Canadians. Welland 3 points behind. As Forsland takes the puck, wraps it around the glass, up the near wall beside the two benches, and Welland intercepts inside their own line, and Cole McKnight plays it in deep for Welland. McEnany brings it out the right wing, the feed up ahead to Gomes, the long pass above two lines hit Gomes' right skate. And Flack now takes it for Welland through the neutral zone with speed before Jake Brown cuts him off in the corner. Rajkovic plays it in behind the net. It's intercepted by Patton, and Patton another attempted deep pass for Gomes, this time on the left wing. And the long pass intercepted, and Flack able to take it down the near side. The whistle going 3 minutes and 15 seconds in. 9 different players scoring for Caledonia last night, and Welland hasn't seen action since last Sunday, the 4-0 loss to Niagara Falls, and we're awaiting the call of the game's first penalty. Jack Fitzgerald goes to talk to one of the head referees as Matt Martin goes to the box, and the Corvairs go to their first power play. Caledonia in 18 games with 12 power play goals on the year and 96 opportunities, a 12.50 power play percentage. Purdy on the draw, Peacock off to the left, and Purdy tries to slide it to the left wing. It comes back to the point. Abraham the shot. It goes off Fitzgerald. He can't find it, and neither can anyone else for a couple of seconds. Purdy gathers it in at the near wall now for Peacock underneath the end line. Purdy top of the line. Abraham back to Purdy, the shot, and Peacock trying to use his size going to the net there on the near side. The shot off the left side of the defense, and Peacock trying to tip it in on the near corner, trying to add to his totals last month with 8 goals and 10 assists, 18 points to win the Player of the Month award that we saw earlier this evening. Abraham to Purdy underneath the end line for Bramwell. Peacock for Purdy, an attempted centering pass by Purdy. Looking for Bramwell in the slot, instead takes it back to the left side of the defense. Abraham to the far corner, and the shot by Forsland inside the right circle. The hard shot by Jamie Forsland there on the far side, and Jansen keeping his pad against the post far corner to make the save. Tanev in the draw, slides it over to the far board. The pass missed by Trublin, and now Hoare underneath the end line near side, plays it to the left, back to the half wall for Tanev off the patch from Ratchford. Van Horn plays it around the Welland net. Hoare to the sideboard, Ratchford, and he scores! Caledonia had the puck in behind the Welland net. Hoare played a pass up to the sideboard, and the pass back to Rochford at the top of the point, and Rochford makes it count with the opening goal with 15:18 remaining in the first. Todd Rochford with the opening goal.
Assisted by number 19, Kyle Sanders, and 91, Matthew Orr. Line of the goal, 4 minutes, 42 seconds.
So at 4:42, Rochford from the top of the point. Hoare with the initial play. He shot and he scores! Patton from Van Horn. Patton with the wrist shot inside the left circle. And before I could recap the game's opening goal, Connor Patton's already doubled up the Caledonia lead to 2-0.
Corvairs' first goal was a power play effort by 95 Radford from
Miranda the far side. Fontana loses possession of the puck, and Matt Cuglietta plays it in deep. And out to play it for the Corvairs. The shot wide of the net by Ratchkovich.
assisted by number 98, Jacob Book. Time of the goal, 5:21. Corvairs' second goal, scored by 6.
Bush getting credit for the second assist shot there. A heavy shot by Matt Cuglietta inside the left circle. Just 6 minutes into period number 1, the Corvairs already with a 2-0 lead. Welland with 30 points on the year, Caledonia with 33. Caledonia 10-0 in their last 10 games. And Welland just 1-2 in their last 3 games. The included in there the 5-2 loss to Caledonia a couple weeks ago on home ice on the Sunday night. Caledonia with 2 wins over the Pelham Panthers since then. So Patton with a wrist shot inside the left circle with the 2-0 goal. Todd Rochford off the top of the blue line with the opening Caledonia goal along the ice. A big hit in the corner there by Abraham as Purdy brings it up the ice 2-on-2 with Bramwell off to his left. Bramwell in behind the net, and it's now broken up by Welland as Alex Barron plays it back to the Caledonia side of the blue line, and Purdy right back to the attack. Peacock in the corner spins off the check of Nathan McDuff. Peacock at the far half wall now to Purdy. Purdy with his back to the play being chopped at by Barron, and Barron gets enough of him to force him off the puck. Jeremy Hopkins, an affiliated player junior, now playing it up the near side, and Hopkins goes down into the corner, the centering pass, and Martin can't find it as Forsland screened the pass. The deep play off the far corner, and a shot by Gomes. The third time this period we've seen Gomes go deep on a pass, so obviously something the Corvairs have been looking at in practice. The long feed to Nathan Gomes. Rochford to the right, the drop pass, Gomes the shot. Gomes in between the hash marks, moved his way from the high slot, bearing right in on goal on Chris Jansen. And the whistle goes with several players down in the near corner. Gomes along with Bush and Rochford on the right side. 11:26 to go, first period of play. Corvair goals at 4:47 and 5:21. Puglisi, the centering pass. Melna jumps around the check of Ratchford. And his pass back to the top of the blue line. No one there, and Tavares has to regroup in his own zone for a second. Van Horn, the interception. Jake Brown off the far board. And Puglisi back to the board. Hit hard by Chris Melna. And now fist a fly-in in the far corner. The Corvairs go after Melna, unhappy with the hit on Puglisi. McEnany and Riley Van Horn in there on the far side. Strange's Thomas Flack and the number 44 sweatered call-up Ratchkovich in there for Welland. We'll take a break as we sort out the penalties. You're watching Caledonia Corvairs hockey on YouTube. Welcome back, 10:56 to go, first period of play. The Caledonia Corvairs out in front by a score of 2-0 on Todd Ratchford and Connor Patton goals at 4:47 and 5:21 of the first period. Just a reminder, this game is brought to you by Real Estate Sales Representative Roland Archer of Remax Land Exchange. If you're in the market to buy or sell a property, give them a call at 519-755-7409 or email them at roland@rolandarcher.ca. You can visit them online at remaxlandexchange.ca. Melna appears to get a misconduct for the Canadians. Initially, he was in the box and skated off to the Welland dressing room. We'll wait and see if we can get an official call here as Entma plays it up and around the boards. Cuglietta down in the corner. McDuff gets there first for Welland. And a big hit by the Corvairs on the near corner. Forsland on Fitzgerald. Checking to the head on that hit to Puglisi. Melna done for the night. And roughing after the whistle on Caledonia, a 2-minute call. Trublin tries to get to the net. The shot along the ice by Matt Hoare. Hoare with a goal last night at the 11:45 mark of the first period. 9 different Corvairs hitting the score sheet last night. The second consecutive win over Pelham, the 6-0 victory last here by the Corvairs on home ice last Saturday, as it's slapped ahead by Mitch Purdy. Christian DeFonso to the corner, plays it around the boards, cut off by Ratchford. And Ratchford looking for his second goal from the right side of the blue line. The wrister from far out, Jansen hanging on. Jansen's second in the league in goals against average coming into tonight's game, registering a 11-3 1-loss record on the year, a 1.84 goals against average. Peacock wins the draw, slides it to the boards, and Bramwell now held up by Josh Allen. The shot from far out by Purdy, and this time Purdy goes in behind the Welland net to gather in the rebound. Jeremy Hopkins brings it back to the neutral zone beside the Caledonia bench. And Van Horn plays it to the far side for Peacock. Peacock, October's Player of the Month. Pulasic, the backup goaltender for tonight, getting the goaltender of the month. Peacock knocked down by Josh Allen in behind the Welland net. And it looks here like the Corvairs will go to their second power play of period number 1. Hoare on the left wing to take the draw. Tanev to center the power play unit. And the draw won by Welland, and Corvairs slides it back up the far side. Radford to the left wing. Van Horn with speed. The high rising shot by Van Horn. Matt Hoare cut to the net. Matt Hoare with 10 goals on the year. Don't believe I've called his name at home yet this season. All 10 goals for Hoare on the road. Face off inside the Caledonia zone. Caledonia still on the power play for another minute and 30 seconds. Damien Lalonde serving the Welland penalty. Caledonia winning the draw. The defense comes back with speed. Radford on the draw pass from Tanev. Radford crosses around to the left. The short pass to Hoare. Tanev far side, back to Radford, top of the point. Tanev and Radford play back and forth, and the shot by Radford. Trublin trying a deflection in front of Jansen. Hoare over top the left circle. Slides it down the left wing boards over to Radford. The return feed to Tanev, and Tanev mishandles the puck. And Jack Fitzgerald able to clear for Welland. And Welland takes a full change to get a fresh set of penalty killers. 29 seconds to go in the Caledonia power play. Ratchford in his own zone for Abraham. Abraham crossing the blue line, now over the red line and going hard into the near corner. Doesn't stop there, goes all the way in behind the Welland net before his progress is impeded by Christian DeFonso. Gomes back to the boards. A high hit on the shoulders by Ratchkovich. Ratchkovich in there once again, and a battle with Patton. Ratchkovich knocking Patton to the ice. Patton giving him a shove. And now Gomes in there getting into it with Ratchkovich. Ratchkovich with a couple good cross checks across the high back of Patton. And Gomes on the retaliation will go to the box for the Corvairs. Caledonia 14-0-1 in their last 15 games. The only loss in that stretch, the 4-3 loss to the Kitchener Dutchmen back on Showcase weekend. Caledonia taking a lot of penalties in that game. In my opinion, perhaps a winnable game for the Corvairs. Abraham and Fitzgerald look on as at the penalty boxes. Gomes going to the dressing room now. Didn't look like Gomes got into any serious fisticuffs down in the corner, so perhaps just a 10-minute. Ratchkovich causing all kinds of trouble down on the near corner with the cross checks on Connor Patton. Patton falling down at the near side of the Welland net. Tripping on Ratchkovich. So Gomes tossed out of the game. Gomes in retaliation on the cross check. A miscarriage in justice, in my opinion. Referees not taking into account the two previous high cross checks on the shoulders by Ratchkovich down on the near corner. So they'll play 4-on-4 here for 2 minutes until the game misconduct to Gomes takes effect, and the junior Canadians will go on the power play for 3 minutes at that time. Forsland on the 2-on-2 along with Fontana. Forsland can't find a pass, and he spins around and throws it all the way to the far corner, where it's picked up by Abraham, now on the forehand. Shakes off a check, the centering pass, Abraham to Patton, and now Abraham caught up ice. Stranges tries to make it into a 2-on-1 along with Damien Lalonde, but Lalonde can't get the shot away off the left wing above the left circle. Under 6 to go now, Caledonia in a 2-0 lead. Caledonia next in action at home next Saturday against the Thorold Blackhawks. The last team in the division we've yet to see here at the HCCC. So finally an opportunity to see Thorold next Saturday, and Welland back in action, right back at it tomorrow night against the St. Catharines Falcons. Peacock is stick lifted there. Brown underneath the end line far side. Checked by McDuff. Brown shakes off the check, and the shot by McEnany. Peacock tries to gather it in off the glass out the far side, angled toward the far side. Brown making a move, cutting to the net from underneath the end line far side. Peacock, Brown, and Forsland all parked on the far corner, or Bush rather. Bush, not Forsland, on the far right-hand side. Welland 4 points up on St. Catharines. St. Catharines a surprise last night, losing 5-1 to the Ancaster Avalanche on home ice. So the Falcons dropping to a play broken up here, or Ratchford, an attempted breakup. Thomas Flack gets it back, tries a shot along the ice underneath the left circle. St. Catharines dropping to 12-7-2 with the loss to Ancaster last night. Ancaster improving to 10-8-3, 23 points for the Avalanche on the year. 3 points ahead of Niagara Falls in the 4th spot. So Welland 4 points ahead of St. Catharines going into the matchup tomorrow night at Welland Arena, 7 o'clock. Allen the shot, and his shot wide on the near corner, going off the glass, and Van Horn picks it up, smashes it off the glass and out. 2 minutes to go now on the Welland power play. Gomes out of the game for the hit on the far corner. The Ratchkovich hit, and Gomes losing his temper on the retaliation, and Gomes unfortunately finished for the night. Jansen leaves it for the defender, Allen. Allen plays it up the right wing board. Jake Shaw down into the near corner. And Reed plays it out the far side to the half wall. Tyler Stranges winds up. It deflects off the stick of Bramwell and in behind the Caledonia net. Barron plays it up the wall, in past the end line to Mitch Reed. Near side, big hit by Forsland on the number 91 forward, Tyler Stranges. Under a minute to go in the Caledonia penalty kill. And the Welland power play continues here as Barron back to pick it up for the junior Canadians. McDuff slips a check and into the corner to Matt Martin. The pass from the left wing wall back to the right point. Nathan McDuff gets it back. The shot through traffic. And Matt Martin slapping away at it in between the hash marks. The whistle going with 2:17 to go. We'll take a break. You're watching Caledonia Corvairs hockey on YouTube. Play back underway as Tanev wins the draw. Can't get it past Traverse. Play to the left side. Allen to Traverse. Traverse head up back to Allen. Allen beside the end line. The cross ice feed. And Fitzgerald trying to go cross ice there, looking for Cuglietta. Cuglietta trying to redeem himself inside the right circle. A shot there and the save by Entma in between the pads. Entma posting a 9-1-1 record on the year, a 2.05 goals against average. Entma fourth in the league in goals against as it's played around the board. Fitzgerald at the far end line. Allen, the turnaround, the pass beside the far corner, the pass to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald had the option to shoot, instead looked into the slot for Cuglietta, and Cuglietta now down below the end line near side. Traverse to the left, the back pass, Allen down the half wall for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald with 1:12 left in the period. Moran in the box for another 45 seconds. Moran, while we were in commercial break, took another penalty for the Corvairs, their second consecutive, and Bush gathers it in, clears it down the far side, and Caledonia changes up their penalty kill. The pass up the ice by Barron. Bramwell with the attempted interception, and Bramwell now speeding through the neutral zone. Barron gets back and comes out the far side of his own net. The pass to the left wing, and the backhand jam pass by Nathan McDuff. Ratchford tries to clear the line. Barron getting a piece of it, but Ratchford with enough on the shot to get it back to neutral ice. 10 seconds to go now. Patton on the right side trying to force a cross-check. The pass above two lines. McDuff looking for the left winger, Damian Lalonde. The buzzer going. 2 goals in the first. Ratchford from the top of the point at the 4:42 mark. Connor Patton at 5:21. The assist going to Bush. Patton scoring on the wrist shot from inside the left circle. Plenty of physical play and penalties in the first. Golems out for the game for Caledonia, and Caledonia killing 5 minutes in penalties after that, so a good job on the penalty kill by the Corvairs to end the period. The Ratchford and Connor Patton goals, and the Corvairs at the end of one at the first intermission It's the Caledonia Corvairs 2 and the second place Welland Jr Canadians, no score.
Everyone builds dream houses. But when you dream, you close your eyes. That's why you need a guide. To see if it's too close to the train, to line up a good school, and remind you of the cost of a pool. With a RE/MAX agent, you will see how much better than a dream home the right home can be. RE/MAX. Dream with your eyes open.
All set for period number 2 as Mitch Purdy takes the draw opposite the number 12 sweatered Cole McKnight. Caledonia 2-0 in head-to-head matchups. 1-1 the season series. Welland blanking the Corvairs 3-0 in their first home game back on Saturday, September the 13th, and of course the big 5-2 win by the Corvairs 2 weeks ago in Welland while playing 4 men short-handed, 3 men suspended, and Abraham exiting from the game 10 minutes or so into the first period, so Caledonia 4 men short that night. Peacock, the turnaround shot, Bramwell to the net. Peacock on the near corner, nearly put it in, and then Bramwell cutting to the far side, tried to tip in the third Caledonia goal. Forsland the shot from outside, tipped to the end board on the far corner. Trublin winds up, his shot off the board, gathered in by Peacock. We've seen a lot of that play, the bank shot off the board in recent weeks. Haven't seen any goals result out of that play as of yet. Forsland the shot, Peacock a shot, and now Tanev, the spin around on the near corner, goes to the top of the point. Van Horn goes after his own rebound in behind the Welland net. And Hoare still with possession. Caledonia with good cycling here in this first 2 minutes of the second period. Tanev the shot. Caledonia all over Welland in the first minute and 56 seconds as Jansen making the save on the shot by Tanev. Caledonia cycling the puck around well on the corners, finding some room down behind the end lines, and the centering passes out front. Hoare to take the draw from the right circle, slides it to the corner. Tanev loses possession, and Fitzgerald plays it around the near side for Welland. Trublin falling down. Tanev keeps it in to the far side. Van Horn winds up, and his shot hit the outside of the post. Cuglietta tries to play it in deep for Flack. Flack goes in behind the Caledonia net. Entma plays it out the other side. Fitzgerald from the half wall to Travers, and Travers, Matt Cuglietta trying to tip it in front. Travers with the shot from the top of the blue line, and Cuglietta tried a downward deflection on Entma. Broken up far wall, 3-on-1 in alone. Bush in, and Bush goes to the backhand. Welland coughs it up in the neutral zone. Caledonia goes in 3-0 down the left wing side off the far board. Van Horn winds up. His shot hits the outside of DeFonso. And Patton gathers it in. He's checked off the puck by Josh Allen. Bush the shot, and he scores! No one knew where the puck was, but Bush did, and he puts it in 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the second. Bush sliding it in on the far corner past the right pad of Chris Jansen. And the Corvairs now with a 3-0 lead on the second place Welland Jr. Canadians. Caledonia coming in tonight, tops in the Golden Horseshoe Conference at 16-2-1. Welland in the number 2 spot at 15-4. And now the trainer out to check on Chris Jansen. The goal by, well, Patton now getting credit for the goal.
3 minutes, 30 seconds.
Van Horn with the assist. The wraparound off the near corner. It looked like Bush to me on the far side. No one on the ice seemed to know where it was. Jansen looks to be okay as he gets back to his feet. So with a difference in opinion on the goals, just another reason for you to check out www.GOJHL.ca. They'll give you the official time on that Caledonia third goal. All your stats, all your score sheets, the standings, everything you need at www.GOJHL.ca. The Corvairs win the draw from center, 3:30 into the second, following the Connor Patton third goal. And Hoare's pass up to Brown. An automatic icing and a face-off. So I was right the first time. Bush from Fontana. PA guy confusing me there why you would make an announcement back on the Patton goal. The Patton goal, the second goal at the 5:21 mark. So either my ears deceiving me or a mistake on the third goal. At any rate, Bush from Fontana on the Caledonia third goal. The goal past the right pad of Chris Jansen. Entma plays it out to Moran and up the far side. And skating hard now from center is Connor Bramwell. Rashkovich takes him into the boards. His aggression in the first period led to the ejection of Nathan Gomes. Purdy in the slot, the pass from Peacock. Mitch Purdy bearing in on net. Everyone losing track of Purdy, and Purdy between the hash marks with a wrist shot, and Chris Jansen with a big left hand. Welland winning the draw. Christian DeFonso playing it back to the Caledonia blue line on the far side. Entma out to play it. The short drop for the defender Abraham, and two players go into the corner for Welland, now trying to force a turnover near board. Caledonia able to break out in the neutral zone. The pass by Patton off the side of the net. Purdy gathers it in. Peacock on the half wall to Forsland at the right side, and his shot along the ice wide of the net. Trublin into the corner. The flip pass behind the net. Peacock tied up by Josh Allen. And Peacock uses his size to shove aside the check, play it to the near wall, and Purdy skates all the way around the far side before dropping it in behind the Welland net and going off on a change. Peacock on the backhand, back to Josh Allen, drops it in behind the end line far side. Tanev hit in the corner, shakes off the check of Melda, goes to the net, and he scores! Kyle Tanev inside the near post deposits the Caledonia fourth goal with 13:34 remaining. 2 goals in the first for Caledonia. Tanev now with the second goal of the second. Bush from Fontana at the 3:30 mark. Tanev, the wraparound from the far side, found a forehand shot inside the near post. Stranges has his stick lifted, and McDuff plays it back to the right wing. Trublin with the second assist. At 6:27, Tanev Forsland draws his first assist of the night. Tanev, the draw from the left circle. McKnight tries to tie him up. Both players falling to the ice. McKnight now in behind the net. Tanev on the far board. The centering pass, Ratchford the shot. And the hard shot by Ratchford deflected out to the corner by the right pad. McCorriston now in the nets for Welland. Brandon McCorriston for Welland, and we'll get you a stat package on him in a second. McCorriston with a 4-1 one-loss record, a .200 goals against average on the year, and a .922 save percentage. So Jansen following the Kyle Tanev goal. McCorriston now in the nets for the Canadians. Welland looking to change their fortune around nearly to the halfway point of home game number 9 for the Corvairs. The shot from the outside, Fitzgerald, far corner, tries to tuck it in. Cuglietta with a shot above the left circle, and Fitzgerald trying to tuck in the rebound at the far side. Fontana heading to the net, and the shot, Fontana tips it just wide, and Fitzgerald comes flying back on the back check and knocked the netting off at the far side. Draw in the right circle. McKnight plays it around the board. Jake Shaw at the half wall. Moran winds up, and his shot from the outside left defense, and McCorriston hangs on with a glove. This game is brought to you by Real Estate Sales Representative Roland Archer of Remax Land Exchange. If you're in the market to buy or sell a property, give them a call at 519-755-7409. as Puglisi plays it around the board, back to the near side. Moran moves up. The one bounce pass goes off to the near corner. Puglisi picks it up, plays it in behind the net for Tanev. The high shot by Brown, and McCorriston making the save. You can email Roland at Remax Land Exchange at roland@rolandarcher.ca. You can also visit him online at remaxlandexchange.ca. 54 seconds to the midway point as Brown takes the draw. And the Canadians win it, play it back to the defense. McDuff plays it around the far board, and Brown and a fallen Welland player at the half wall now. That was Jeremy Hopkins. Brown down the near sideboard. He spins off a check, plays it down deeper to the end line. Tanev to Abraham, in behind the net for Puglisi. Brown the wraparound at the near side. Brown, a nifty move. And Brown, 3 shots there. 2 at the near side, spun around at the near corner. A half spinorama, freed himself on the forehand. And then a third opportunity just wide of the net on the far side. Bramwell the pass, and Puglisi impeded just enough. Barron tied up his forehand, and now Puglisi gives Barron a shove to the face, and he'll sit down for 2 minutes. Puglisi, unhappy seconds earlier, had a good chance on the forehand as they move the face-off to the Caledonia zone. We'll take a break. You're watching Corvair Hockey on YouTube. Play back underway. Ratchford plays it the length of the ice, 7 seconds in to the penalty to Puglisi. Allen pass center as Welland tries to set up their power play. Fitzgerald at the half wall for Cuglietta. Cuglietta for Travers, over to Allen left defense. Down the near half wall, Allen gets it back, the shot. Reed trying to tip it in. Mitch Reed tipped the shot wide, and a right winger there open as well. Matt Cuglietta. Welland with just the one shot as they move the face-off out to the right circle. Tanev, the hard draw won by Tanev, or the hard pass out by Tanev on the draw, I should say. Tanev just sort of drew his stick back quickly off the draw, and as the puck hit the ice, already had it out of the zone and back to center. Allen back to regroup for the junior Canadians. Lalonde, the cross ice feed. The shot by Travers. The big defender, Travers, the 6'3" defender, 180 pounds. Travers shot there from the beside the right circle along the ice, and Entma sharp to make the save. A low shots on goal total through the first period. Caledonia leading the shots on goal clock 7-3 through one period. Bush and Tanev with second period goals, matching their first period output. Tanev off for interference, and now Welland to the two-man advantage. Barron plays it for Lalonde. Abraham and Forsland to kill the penalty for Caledonia. Patton the only forward on for the Corvairs. McDuff has a look to the end line, centering pass. Melna can't handle it. Welland yet to register a shot on goal on this two-man advantage. Barron behind the end line, the cross-ice feed. Chris Melna trying to find a forward Flack, now tied up by Forsland near corner, and the puck goes back to the far side. Shot by Flack hit the outside of the net. Shot by Barron hit the skate of Forsland, and as a result, it bounces to Puglisi. And Puglisi able to clear the zone. Bramwell, Purdy, Van Horn out for the Corvairs. Abraham stays on as Caledonia kills the first penalty. Travers the wind-up. It hits the right side of Van Horn and goes off to the corner. Travers the shot. It hit the outside of the post. Mitch Reed thought it was in, had his arms up in the air. Travers top of the blue line, similar to the Todd Ratchford first goal of the game, but this time Travers had Reed parked out in front. It hit the outside of the post. Travers thought he had the goal that would cut the Welland deficit back to 3. 20 seconds to go in the penalty to Moran. 6:33 remaining. Second period of play. Van Horn plays it up and around the boards over to the half wall. Travers to Reed. Reed at the half wall plays it back to the right side for Travers. Travers and Reed now going back and forth. Travers winds up on the pass far side from in behind the end line. Bramwell neutral zone. Reed on his back. And Bramwell gets to the puck in behind the Welland net. McDuff brings the disc back to center for Welland. And a delayed offside call. A little bit of confusion as to what's going on here. I believe a delayed offside as they move the puck into the neutral zone far side for the face-off. McDuff ties up his man Purdy on the draw. Bush around the back for Van Horn, up to Peacock. Peacock to the left wing, trying to make a 3-on-2 with Purdy on the right, and it's broken up. McKnight at neutral zone. Purdy hit him hard. Purdy with a check on McKnight. And then McKnight later spun around inside the Corvair line. Ratchford plays it up the wall for Peacock. Ratchford gets it back up the far side. Purdy working his way into the slot. He's driven to his knees by Christian DeFonso and plays it in deeper to the near corner before Lalonde intercepts. The turnaround by Jeremy Hopkins. Trublin the pass into the slot. The high slot McEnany found himself in, or McEnany, excuse me. Still tripping on that, even a little distance into the season. Hoare, the turnaround shot, goes into the near corner. And Melna the back pass, and Entma out to play it. Tanev up the left board for Moran. Moran with speed inside the left circle, and the shot by Hoare just wide off to the near corner. Tanev, far wall, McEnany from the neutral zone. Throws it around the board. McCorriston leaves it for the defender. Barron up the far wing. Enma out to play it on the mishandled pass. Patton back to center. Bush off to his left. Patton with McDuff trailing him. And McDuff bodies Patton to the far board. Fontana, the shot wide off the board and out the far side. And Forsland uses the upper body to keep the puck in and hits Shaw on the left side at the same time. Backhand by Bush, in behind the near side. Played around the near side board. Fontana was tied up by Matt Martin, and now the Canadians play it the other way. Reed goes in behind the net. He can't make a play as 4 men back for Caledonia. Cuglietta down the far wall for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald back to the Welland side of center. DeFonso plays it up the left wing. It hits the stick of McKnight briefly, and Caledonia intercepts. Plays it back to neutral ice. The shot by Forsland. McCorriston making the save. Under 2 to go now. The second period goals, Bush from Fontana at 3:30. The shot nobody could seem to find, but Bush knew where it was. It was in the back of the net on the far corner. And Tanev on the wraparound, finally finding space on the near corner at the 6:27 mark. Forsland and Trublin assisting. Puck out of play on the near side. Tanev, the shot that saw Chris Jansen's exit from the game. At that point, Brandon McCorriston replacing Jansen. Jansen first in goals against going into tonight. Caledonia goalies on the year doing very well for themselves. Pulasic leading the league in goals against, and Entma 4th in the league. Entma actually seeing more playing time. Purdy, the pass off to the left wing for Bramwell. The shot from outside on the right corner goes wide, and Welland picks it up. Forces play back to the neutral zone. Melna's no-look back pass picked off by Bramwell. Van Horn to the half wall. Stranges intercepts there. Plays it in deeper on the far corner. And a hit by Ratchford in behind his own net as Travers goes back inside his own line to pick up the disc and play it over to the right defense. Ratchkovich loses it. Peacock can't handle it either. And he's bodied off the puck by Mitch Reed. Inside 10 seconds to go. Time winding down. A bouncing puck played down into the near corner. And the buzzer goes. 2 goals in the first for the Corvairs. 2 goals in the second. And at the end of 2, with Jacob Bush and Kyle Tanev hitting the score sheet at 3:30 and 6:27 at the second intermission. It's the Caledonia Corvairs 4 and the Welland Jr Canadians no score.
Everyone builds dream houses. But But when you dream, you close your eyes. That's why you need a guide. To see if it's too close to the train, to line up a good school, and remind you of the cost of a pool. With a RE/MAX agent, you will see how much better than a dream home the right home can be. RE/MAX. Dream with your eyes open.
Draw the third period won by the Corvairs. Forsland up the boards in between the benches. Bramwell back to Peacock and his shot. The hard shot by Peacock fired wide, and Peacock dumped on the right side following the hard shot. Very little shots on goal in this game. 17-5 following 2 periods of play. Perhaps a discrepancy on point streak. 6-0 the shots on goal for the Corvairs through the second period, but the first period shots were changed. Initially it was 7-3. It's now reading 11-5 in favor of Caledonia. 6-0 for the second seems a little low to me. Welland must have had a shot in there somewhere. And there's a shot. So Mitch Reed gets a stick up under the visor. Reed registering the first 2 shots on goal for Welland of the third. So there's 2 more than they got in the second period. On the out-of-town scoreboard, it's 2-1 Cambridge over the Guelph Hurricanes. 9:42 remaining in that game. Pelham with a 3-2 lead on the Fort Erie Meteors. An interesting note, Barron over to Fitzgerald. Purdy off for high sticking, well into the power play here. Welland with 20 power play goals going into tonight. The shot by McDuff wide of the net, gathered in by Fitzgerald. Over to Barron. Fitzgerald gets it back. Lalonde on the side wall, winds up, and his shot hits something in front, likely Ratchford, and deflected into the near corner. The Pelham Pirates are now the Pelham Panthers, a name change since we saw them last week. Perhaps the reason why they didn't have names on their uniforms all season, they now have completely different ones. The 6-0 win by Caledonia last week here at the HCCC, and then last night at the Pelham Arena, the now Panthers with a new set of jerseys and a new name for last night's game. Same result though, as the Corvairs continue the dominance in the season series, winning 10-1 last night. Caledonia also registering 4-0, 6-0, and a 16-1 victory, the first game between the two teams this season. The shot fired wide and the net off its moorings. 30 seconds to go in the penalty to Mitch Purdy. 17:22 remaining in the third period. Ancaster with a 3-0 lead on the Thorold Blackhawks in the second period. Lambton Shores and St. Thomas still showing no score, and Strathroy leading St. Mary's by 2 by a score of 3-1. Thomas Flack under the end line. He runs the bigger Forsland into the boards in behind the Caledonia net. Flack tries to gather in the pass. Melna and Abraham meet up in the corner on a body check. Both men hitting each other simultaneously, and the pass from out behind the end line intercepted by Abraham. Forsland, the short pass to Purdy. So Caledonia now back at full strength. and Jeremy Hopkins hauling down Purdy from behind, and Hopkins will go to the box, so Caledonia will go to their first power play of the third. One and one, these two teams in the season series. Welland winning 3-0 in Caledonia's first home game. Van Horn to Ratchford. The 5-2 win by the Corvairs 2 weeks ago on the Sunday night in Welland. Ratchford in behind the net for Peacock. Hopkins off for holding, and Peacock from over top the right circle plays it in past the end line far side. Purdy turns around, back to Van Horn. Purdy lets it go, and Peacock picks it up on the far side. Turn around, back to the end line to Bramwell. Bramwell winds up, and McCorriston knocks it out of play with the shaft of his stick as both teams make full changes. 1:14 left in the penalty to Hopkins as the Corvairs remain on the power play. Hoare on the left wing as Tanev wins the draw. Forsland to the right circle. Tanev gathers it in at the dot. Trublin back to Forsland. Trublin backhands in behind the line for Kyle Tanev. Tanev out the far side for Trublin. And the play's broken up by Damien Lalonde and sent the length of the ice. McEnany with speed down the far side, finds Hoare with his head up. Hoare to the right defense. Forsland back to McEnany. McEnany slides it along the ice to Matt Hoare. McEnany down the side wall. Forsland tips it further into the corner. Trublin, Barron trying to knock him off the puck. Tanev to Forsland. 15 seconds to go in the Caledonia power play, and the shot by McEnany wide and out the far side. Forsland backhands it up the wall. Trublin at the half wall beside the circle, and he fires a shot wide, and it comes out the near corner. McEnany able to keep it in. Hoare the shot, and he scores! Matt Hoare with the score, puts it over the shoulder of McCorriston on the near side, and Matt Hoare hits the score sheet for the first time at home following 10 road goals. 14:19 remaining, and the Corvairs extend the lead to 5. Couldn't quite see the play on the near side. Perhaps it went under the arm. Tanev drawing his second point. Had the fourth Corvair goal. The shot, and they score. Welland breaks the shutout by Antma. Cuglietta sliding it underneath two Caledonia players in front off the right side. Underneath Patton, there was another player ahead of him. No, excuse me, it was Antma that went down. So both Antma and Patton went down off the right side. And Cuglietta able to slide it in underneath both of them.
Number 2, Christian DeFranco, and 15, Jack Fitzgerald. Time of the goal, 6 minutes, 8 seconds. Welland goal, scored by 9.
So the Antma shutout now gone 6 minutes and 8 seconds into the final frame. Puglisia's shot in between the hash marks, his stick lifted by Thomas Flack. Bush, Tanev out to the left, and it's broken up by Flack. Flack with 2 good defensive plays on the shift. Melna hit hard by Bush by the center ice red line. Melna's jersey all filled with snow now on the left side under his arm. But nonetheless, Chris Melna able to get up under his own power. Caledonia still with a healthy 4-goal lead here, as even after the Cuglietta goal at 6:08. Cuglietta going along the ice, sliding the puck underneath Patton and Entma, and getting the Welland first goal as the shot by Bramwell, excuse me, hit the outside of the net and continued further on out the far side. Play back in the Caledonia zone. Peacock to Moran. Moran has a good look and fires a forehand wrist shot, and they score! And Purdy picks up that rebound on the far side. The initial shot by the Corvairs going wide of the net. Purdy picking it up on the right side of the blue line, 2 steps inside the line and firing a hard wrist shot to the far corner. And the Corvairs get their 5-goal lead back.
Assisted by number 7, Jordan Peacock. Time of the goal, 8 minutes, 6 seconds. Corvairs' 6th goal, scored by 74-30.
So 1:58 later, following the Cuglietta goal, Purdy restores the 5-goal Caledonia lead. Hoare to the far side, whips it around the boards. McCorriston out to play it, leaves it for the defender Barron up to the half wall. And Mitch Reed plays a cross-ice pass to Jeremy Hopkins. Entma gloves it down with a left hand, hangs on for the save. Welland in action tomorrow night against the St. Catharines Falcons at home, 7 p.m. Welland Arena. And the Corvairs next in action next Saturday here at the HCCC, 7:30 p.m. The first time we see the Thorold Blackhawks this season on home ice. Play up the near side board. Fitzgerald plays it around the board for Cuglietta. Thorold in the 7th position in the conference with 15 points, 7-11-1 on the year. Offside with 10:27 to go. We'll take a break. You're watching Caledonia Corvairs hockey on YouTube. Welcome back on the draw. Flack draws it out of his feet. Bush there as well. And Bush played it for a couple seconds before the Corvairs wrapped it around the far wall. McCorriston hangs on for the save. This game is brought to you by Real Estate Sales Representative Roland Archer of Remax Land Exchange. If you're in the market to buy or sell a property, give him a call at 519-755-7409 or email him at roland@rolandarcher.ca. You can visit him online at remaxlandexchange.ca. Raskovich plays it up the far wall. Jake Shaw gathers it in and hops a check by Matt Hoare. Shaw's long feed into the far corner, and Puglisi picks it off and plays it back to the Welland side of center. Travers plays it up the wall. It hits the skate of Melna, the Welland defense back, And now the Caledonia forecheck down on the near side. Moran hit at the Caledonia bench by Chris Melna. Puglisi winds up. The hard shot by Daniel Puglisi from the outside. McCorriston making a save high on the right shoulder. Shaw skating hard underneath Justin Abraham. Plays it back further down the far side. And the wind-up, Hopkins losing the puck. Purdy the other way. Bramwell heading toward the net. Bramwell on the left side, and then charge down the center of the net on the shot by Purdy. Bramwell looking for a deflection. Purdy knocked down on the far side by McDuff. And let's see if there's a call here with 8:36 remaining in the third. 3 goals in the third. Hoare from Tanev with 14:19 remaining in the period. Cuglietta at 6:08 breaking the Entma shutout. And then Purdy from Peacock at the 8:06 mark. Reed hit heavily into the corner. A big check on the far side there by Mitch Purdy. Purdy being held up under the arm, and a holding call coming up here to Welland. Mitch Reed going to the box, and Caledonia looking to put this one to bed. Caledonia 6-2 at home on the year, looking for home win number 7. And they're off till next Saturday against the Thorold Blackhawks. Caledonia's next road action, Tuesday the 25th in St. Catharines at the Jack Gatecliff Arena. And then the following weekend, Caledonia with 2 road games. So 3 consecutive games on the road following next Saturday's home game against Thorold. In Niagara Falls on the 28th, Trublin a hit on Josh Allen in behind the net. Allen slow getting up, and DeFonso doesn't like that as he hooks Trublin underneath the arm. Van Horn to the right side, and the whistle going. See if there's a call on DeFonso here, but just a delayed offside. They'll take a face-off in the neutral zone. Peacock frustrated there with the no call on DeFonso, as were the fans. A little bit of yelling off to my right. And Peacock slashing Hopkins on the arm, and he takes out his frustration, and as a result he'll sit down for 2 minutes, and that will negate the minute 21 seconds in the Welland penalty. Back to the right side, the shot by Corvairs wide of the net on the near corner. McKnight on the near side, and sliding down to the ice inside the line is Fontana to clear the length of the ice. So if Caledonia hangs on here, they'll go a full 6 points ahead of the Junior Canadians for the division lead. Patton to the left wing. McEnany moves off the defense to the left wing, and from the high left circle drops it back to Fontana, now on the far side. Fontana back to the right for Moran. Patton under the end line, centering pass. The pass by Patton, and Fontana with a shot in tight to McCorriston. We'll take a break as both teams change lines. You're watching Caledonia Corvairs hockey on YouTube. Play back underway. Melna won the draw back to the far board, and it's wrapped around to the near side and back to the neutral zone by Nathan McDuff. And Caledonia now clearing it in from center. Bush the clear in. Entma to Forsland. Forsland plays it to the right wing. Forsland the return feed heading to the net. Jake Brown off the right wing boards. And now Forsland caught up ice as Melna bodied off the puck by Captain Abraham. Forsland goes down hard into the corner. And now McDuff and fists a flying Abraham in there. Forsland the big hit on McDuff, and now Forsland taking McDuff down to the ice on the near board. 6:08 remaining, and the three players aside for each team go down into that near corner and throw some fists following the big hit by Forsland. And Forsland now off to the Caledonia dressing room. We'll see if they call a 10-minute misconduct or a game, but at this point, Forsland unable to return either way with 6:08 remaining in the third. Third period goals. Matt Hoare, the wrist shot over top the shoulder of McCorriston with 14:19 remaining in the third. Matt Cuglietta from Christian DeFonso and Jack Fitzgerald breaking the Entma shutout at the 6:08 mark. And Peacock restoring the, or Purdy rather, restoring the 5-goal Caledonia lead. A minute and 58 seconds later, Peacock assisting. Currently 6-1 Caledonia with 6:08 remaining. Welland and St. Catharines meeting up tomorrow night. Welland still 4 points ahead of St. Catharines. St. Catharines losing 5-1 last night. Michael Police with 2 goals for the Avalanche in last night's game. Lucas Treemstra and Lucas Pazelbon each had a goal and an assist. For all the, we'll have a listen to the penalties here. Forsland for checking from behind. I don't agree with that one. Just a hard hit in the corner, but Forsland gone for the game. Corvairs to the left side for Allen. Welland up 2 men for 18 seconds here.
13:52. Penalties, 27, Forsland.
Allen under the end line. Ratchford to the corner. The fake shot, Corvairs. So McDuff on the retaliation for fighting Forsland. McDuff out, so 2 Corvairs out. Gomes and Forsland, and McDuff out for Welland with 5:28 remaining in the third. Fitzgerald on the draw. Tanev wins it, but he can't get it past the right point. Corvairs his shot wide, and the Corvairs clear the length of the ice on the long dropout by Patton. Fitzgerald back to McEnany. Tanev slashed on the play, and he goes right immediately to the dressing room. A whistle and some pointing. Tanev in a lot of pain, but no call, just a delayed offside and a face-off on the far side. Tanev seems to be getting a lot of no calls. He was hit hard in the game a couple weeks ago in Fort Erie, his second game with the Corvairs. No call on that at the time either. So some tough luck for Tanev in his first few games with Caledonia. Melna down to the end line, Barron winds up, and Moran deflects it off into the far corner. Melna far side, Damien Lalonde there comes up with it for Welland, to Melna near corner. The penalty to Forsland just about done, 3 seconds. DeFonso plays it up the far side, and the Corvairs kill the penalty, return to full strength, and Bush leaves the box, and Peacock immediately comes on in his spot, and the Corvairs go to the attack around the far corner, moved quickly to the near side. The shot from outside by Abraham hits the backboards. Jake Brown trying to gather it in. Peacock with a man draped on his back, Raskovich. And the back pass, Puglisi has to go back and get it inside his own line for the Corvairs. Purdy to the red line, out to his left. And Peacock moving ahead, Bramwell offside on the left wing. 3:22 to go. So quickly recapping the scoring, Todd Ratchford in the first, the goal off the top of the point, Tanev and Hoare assisting. So Tanev with 3 points on the night, a goal and 2 assists. Hoare with the number 2 assist on the Ratchford goal. The pass goes off Abraham's skate. Bramwell to the net. His shot. McCorriston caught a piece of that with a left pad. And the puck deflected up and out of play. Connor Patton inside the left circle from Bush at the 5:21 mark. Caledonia led 2-0 after 1 period of play. They equaled that output in the second period. Bush from Fontana at 3:30. Bush on the play where no one knew where the puck was, and Bush managed to pick it up and slide it past Chris Jansen on the far corner. Tanev with his first goal at 6:27. The wraparound, and Tanev wrapped it in on the far corner inside the near post. At the 6:27 mark, Tanev with that goal, and the Corvairs led 4-0 after 2 periods. The whistle going in the neutral zone, a Welland player down on the far side, and the referee calling for the Welland trainer. Alex Barron going with him as well to help a fallen teammate. Can't see who it is. I believe it's Tyler Stranges down below the end line. One of the sweaters in the 90s for Welland. It's one of 2 guys, either Jake Shaw or Stranges. And now Mitch Reed skates on to have a look as well. Third period goals by Matt Hoare. The shot either up under the arm of McCorriston or over his shoulder. Kind of hard to see on the near corner, but the wrister by Hoare goes in the net with 14:19 remaining in the third. Caledonia with the 5-0 lead. Cuglietta breaking the shutout. So the Welland forward or no, I believe that's Shaw. Shaw, the 5'11" forward. His left arm all scrunched up, snow all over the front of his uniform. And it is indeed Shaw. His back to our camera location the whole time. Difficult to see that far corner. Cuglietta breaking the Entma shutout at 6:08. Cuglietta with a shot underneath Entma, underneath Patton as well. Patton sliding to make a block shot. Cuglietta sneaking it past both of them and breaking the shutout. Trublin the backhand shot at the far side. And Purdy from Peacock restoring the Caledonia 5-goal lead. Under 2 to go. As to the net goes Trublin, and now some pushing and shoving as Ratchkovich shoves him off to the near corner behind the Welland bench. These two teams next in action. Caledonia next Saturday at home, 7:30 p.m. here at the HCCC versus the Thorold Blackhawks. And Welland playing the third place St. Catharines Falcons at 12-7-2. The Falcons falling 5-1 to the Ancaster Avalanche last night. A reminder, check all your scores at www.GOJHL.ca. So Welland 4 points up on St. Catharines for second. That rivalry renewed tomorrow night at the Welland Arena. And we'll see you back here next week for the first game by the Thorold Blackhawks here on home ice. Thorold, the last team in the division to come into Caledonia this year, as Purdy loses the draw to Cole McKnight. McEnany to the sideboard for Purdy. Caledonia will go to the power play to end this game. Bramwell to Peacock. Peacock to the end line for Bramwell. Bramwell turns around to Moran. Moran slides it to McEnany to Purdy and back to McEnany. The shot, Peacock tries to go in between the legs of McCorriston. McEnany to Purdy, the cross ice feed. Caledonia then in action the 25th of November, a Tuesday night, against St. Catharines, and the 28th and 29th on the road against Niagara Falls and the Ancaster Avalanche. Moran past the end line to Peacock. Seconds ticking down now as Caledonia about to move to 7-2 at home on the year. Their 11th consecutive victory as Peacock fires high, hits the glass, but the horn goes. The game ends and the Corvairs with the 6-1 victory extend their lead on second place to 6 points for the Caledonia Corvairs Hockey Club. I'm John Molson. Please join us for our next home game. That's next Saturday against the Thorold Blackhawks here at the HCCC. Ratchford with a goal in the first, Patton at the 5:21 mark, Bush and Tanev in the second, Hoare and Purdy, and Entma unfortunately lost his shutout on the Matt Cuglietta goal, but Purdy restoring the 5-goal lead at the 8:06 mark, and the Caledonia Corvairs win convincingly here tonight by a final score of 6-1 over the second place, now 15-5 Welland Jr. Canadians. Caledonia improving to 17-2-1 on the year. Please join us next Saturday against the Thorold Blackhawks, live from the HCCC, 7:30 p.m. Good night.
Everyone builds dream houses. But when you dream, you close your eyes. That's why you need a guide. To see if it's too close to the train. To line up a good school. And remind you of the cost of a pool. With a RE/MAX agent, you will see how much better than a dream home the right home can be. RE/MAX. Dream with your eyes open.